Weird facts about animals. Our planet is filled with amazingly beautiful animals. These intriguing creatures have adaptations that may appear unusual to us, yet are required for the animal to live. These adaptations might be defense systems that assist the animal avoid predators, or they could help the animal find food. In this video, we will be talking about some weird facts about animals. Black rhinos have established a unique mutualistic relationship. African wildlife frequently exhibits this cooperative behavior, with cleaner birds seen hopping on the backs of larger animals to feast on insects, parasites, and ticks on the skin of rhinos. And the armored giants usually put up with them since they do the cleaning. While eating, sea otters usually float on their backs. These aquatic mammals feed on mussels, sea urchins, clams, and snails while floating on their backs. As they consume, their extraordinarily dense fur protects them from the frigid waters. The enormous Pacific octopus possesses blue blood, 9 brains, and 3 hearts. A central brain oversees the nervous system, while smaller brains are located in each of the 8 arms. Blue blood is abundant in protein, which increases the creature's capacity to transport oxygen in cold environments. 2 hearts pump blood to the gills, while a larger heart pumps blood to the rest of the body. The venom of a baby cobra is as lethal as an adult cobra. Cobras may spit out a lot of venom in a single bite, making their bite dangerous. A neurotoxin found in cobra venom affects the central nervous system and can cause death, respiratory failure, as well as paralysis. Flamingos are famous for standing in shallow water on one leg. However, most people have no idea that owing to the way they evolved, a flamingo must utilize the bristles at the tip of its beak to filter out the sand and water that gets trapped in with its actual food. As a result, it must eat with its head upside down. Otherwise, it will be unable to filter its food effectively. Ever wonder why cats frequently become impaled in trees they have scaled? It's because each of its claws has a downward bend, preventing them from diving headlong into the trunk. A cat can only descend by climbing backward, which many cats won't do. In the winter, reindeer eyes turn blue to aid in seeing in low light. In the summer, they have a golden hue. This ability has not been observed in any other animals. Because of how sluggish they are, sloths are perhaps one of the slowest wild animals you can find. However, they truly possess a cool skill that you might not be aware of. They can swim well, and they do so roughly 3 to 4 times as fast as they move normally. Many mothers feel pressure to provide for their children's needs. Generally, sustenance, protection, love, and attention are sufficient. But not for the Stegotyphus lineatus spider. These matriarchs give their blood, guts, and lives for the sake of their children. The spider mother gorges herself on insects in the days leading up to the birth of her kids. Meanwhile, her internal organs liquefy. She progressively vomits up her entrail slurry to feed her children for 2 weeks after giving birth, while she loses weight and her body swells up. When she dies, her children feast on her body. Though hunting badgers have a reputation for being aggressive and nearly invincible, thanks in part to their liking for deadly snakes, they are not inherently resistant to poison. When they are young, their moms gradually expose them to toxic creatures, such as small scorpions, in order for them to build immunity. Oh, and their name can be a bit misleading. Despite their appearance, they are not related to European badgers. They are members of the weasel family. Vampire bats have sensory nerves in their faces that operate as heat sensors, leading them to their next warm meal. They also have the sharpest teeth in the animal kingdom, which sink easily into their prey and allow them to feast undetected. Special enzymes in their saliva keep their blood-only diet from clotting while they slurp, and specific gut microorganisms aid in blood digestion and the production of essential proteins and vitamins. Only 3 of over 1,000 bat species feed on blood, and they seldom bite people. Butterflies have taste receptors in their feet, or chemoreceptors, which they use to taste and identify vegetation. By drumming it with her feet to release fluids, females choose the right leaf to lay eggs on. The bite of a grizzly bear has a force of about 8 million pascals, which is so powerful that it can break a bowling ball. Green blood, like the Duros from Star Wars, certainly sounds like something that would only exist in the veins of an alien. However, the circulatory systems of 5 species of skink lizards that are endemic to New Guinea and the Solomon Islands contain a stunning bright green liquid. The Greek name for this genus of lizards, Prasinohema, which means green blood, is suitable. These earthbound skinks are completely green, including their bones, muscles, tissues, tongues, as well as mucous lining. The male ostriches may roar like lions and sprint faster than horses. The pistol shrimp captures its victim by shocking it with a loud pounding noise created by its claws. The sound is so powerful that it stuns or kills its victim. Pistol shrimp claws can produce sounds up to 210 decibels, which is louder than a gunshot. The tusk or horn that gives narwhals the appearance of a sea unicorn is simply a tooth. It protrudes from male narwhals' top lips and is used to attract females. Narwhals thrive in the icy waters of the Arctic Circle. Kangaroos are big Australian marsupials that can jump long distances, but their enormous tails and strong rear paws make it hard for them to walk backward. Monkeys are certainly adorable. They may also be rather noxious. When capuchin monkeys are feeling randy, they urinate on their hands and feet. The alpha males may utilize urine washing to indicate to females that their solicitation is working and that there is no need to run. A tarantula spider can live without nourishment for more than 2 years. Male gentoo and Adelaide penguins propose to females by throwing a pebble at them. These are valuable because penguins need them to build their nests, yet they may be difficult to obtain along the bleak Antarctic coast. If the female takes the pebble, the pair becomes lifelong partners. Bearded dragons appear to be fierce and prone to biting, but these medium-sized lizards are really rather friendly. Bearded dragons, despite their formidable scales and jagged beards, like being stroked. They also raise their arms in a human-like gesture to attract attention. Weird facts about whales. Whales are amazing creatures that live in all oceans and migrate each year alone or in groups known as pods. The majority of them are highly active, diving deep or slapping the water with their fins. They jump high, exiting the water and landing on their backs. Any viewer will be taken aback by such a glimpse. Joining us in this video is the most fantastic way to connect with these creatures. Are you ready? Let's get started. They are unable to breathe underwater. Whales and dolphins can't truly breathe underwater, unlike fish, and their respiratory patterns are far more similar to those of humans. These aquatic creatures have lungs and use a blowhole on top of their heads to breathe air. Whales and dolphins can hold their breath for incredibly extended periods of time, despite the fact that they cannot breathe underwater. In actuality, a whale's longest dive was 137 minutes long. The age of a whale. Scientists revealed in 2013 by researching a dead blue whale that earwax is formed at 6-month intervals, similar to tree rings. They realized that counting these rings allowed them to establish the age of the whale. Not only that, but they might also reveal a lot about their surroundings over time. This is due to the fact that earwax is very fatty, and contains a diverse range of compounds. This can provide scientists with a precise understanding of the ocean's chemical composition throughout time, as well as records of whale migratory patterns. Whale milk is very fatty, like toothpaste. Whales are now quite fatty creatures. We also know that newborn blue whales consume 225 liters of their mother's milk each day and develop by roughly 3.7 kilograms every hour. It means the milk contains 50% fat. There are two causes behind all that fat. One is that it provides a very healthy meal and facilitates the newborn calf's quick and simple development. Second, it prevents the milk from easily dissolving into the water, improving feeding effectiveness. After all, it's much simpler to inject fluids into a baby's mouth on land. Many high-end fragrances contain whale poop. Ambergris is a material discovered in the sperm whale's digestive system. It may cost up to $20 per gram. Although it initially smells like whale feces, it soon takes on a deep, earthy aroma. Ambergris-based perfumes have sold for up to $11,000 a bottle. Yes, for the scent of whale poop. The color of blue whales isn't a real blue. When these magnificent creatures come to the surface for a breath of fresh air, the water surrounding them is a stunning shade of blue, giving blue whales their vivid nickname. These stunning creatures seem blue instead of their mottled gray hue thanks to the thousands of microscopic diatoms on their skin that produces the stunning blue glow of the water around them. These same diatoms, or planktonic photosynthesizers, can accumulate on their stomachs and give their undersides the appearance of having a yellowish color under the right environmental conditions, like in Antarctica. Whales also have fingerprints. No two whale tails are alike, just like a person's fingerprints or a zebra's stripes. And this is how researchers can recognize them. The undersides of whales' flukes are distinctive, just like the patterns and grooves on human fingertips. They exhibit clear variances in color, form, and additional identifying features, such as scars or barnacles. They have a big mouth. The blue whale's mouth is magnificent. Their lips can extend so far that another whale might actually swim through them, and their necks feature inflatable pleats. According to research on this phenomenon, a blue whale's mouth was able to gather enough food during a shortened 11-minute dive to produce 100 times as much energy as was required to initiate the dive. Whales are extremely loud. One of the world's noisiest mammals is the blue whale. They produce pulses, groans, and moans that are audible from a great distance. These songs can be utilized for mating, communication, and navigation. Some of their cries may reach 188 decibels, which is louder than a jet engine. However, around 15 to 40 hertz, it frequently fall beyond the range of human hearing. They sleep vertically. Whales have the amazing capacity to use just half their brains when they need to sleep, utilizing the other half to manage their breathing, while keeping an eye out for predators and dangers. But whereas most whales like to sleep horizontally, a practice known as logging, because of its resemblance to a floating log, sperm whales have a somewhat different sleeping position. These guys have a reputation for sleeping completely vertical to the ocean floor. It's an odd sight. They have been seen to exclusively take power naps between 6 p.m. and midnight, which can last up to 12 minutes. They eat without chewing. Rorqual whales are among the biggest mammals on the globe, but their primary food source is krill, one of the tiniest species on Earth. Rorqual whales have baleen, which is a keratin-like series of plates that coat their mouths instead of teeth. These baleen plates filter food from the water within a whale's mouth like a sieve. Baleen plates retain a whale's food supply inside a whale's mouth, while allowing water to flow freely through the plates, similar to how a sieve enables water to drain from a pot. Their hearts are quite big. The typical blue whale's heart is the size of a mid-sized automobile, in addition to possessing emotions and displaying affection. One can hear the giant hearts throbbing up to 2 miles away. You could swim through their blood vessels because they are so big. Having such a large body requires a huge heart after all. The songs of the humpback whale are not love songs. These songs are so hauntingly lovely to the human ear that we've certified them as multi-platinum, sent actual copies into intergalactic space, and credited them with igniting the contemporary whale conservation campaign. Because they're only sung by males, usually on breeding grounds, it was long considered that they were employed to attract partners. Females, according to one study, never approach until the song finishes. Perhaps these are challenge songs, but no one knows for sure. They consume 1 million calories per day. Whales subsist for 8 months out of the year, nearly entirely on stored fat. However, they consume up to 3 tons of food each day over the summer, nearly non-stop. Algae and tiny crustaceans make up the majority of the whale's diet. Whales occasionally consume a little fish. They live a long life. One of the species that live the longest is the blue whale. Scientists determine their age by the layers of wax in their ears. Although the typical life expectancy of blue whales is believed to be between 80 and 90 years, the oldest one they have found this way was assessed to be approximately 100 years old. 10 weird facts from humans to animals. Hello and welcome to Weird World Facts. This video contains genuinely mind-blowing facts, and we'd like to share some of our favorites with you here. Before further ado, let's dive into the video. 1. You don't need to go to the hospital if you have stones in your body that are quite tiny in diameter. By riding a thrilling roller coaster, you can get the stones out of your body. 2. Tuna fish continuously swim while opening their mouths to breathe fresh water through their gills. The tuna will suffocate to death from a lack of oxygen if it stops swimming. Impingement breathing, which involves opening the mouth so that water rushes through the gills to take up oxygen, is a breathing technique used by tuna. As a result, tuna will also swim while sleeping. 3. Osip Bernstein, a great master of chess, was detained by the Bolshevik secret police in 1918 because he advised bankers, who were viewed as the enemies of the people during the Red Terror and the Bolshevik Revolution. He was given the order to be executed by firing squad. A higher officer requested to view the list of inmates as the firing squad stood in formation and prepared to fire. He identified Bernstein as one of the top chess players of the preceding 10 years after scanning the list. He offered him a choice. He assured Bernstein that he would be freed and his life would be spared if he defeated the officer at a game of chess. Following their agreement, Bernstein soon beat him, releasing him from prison. It's really astonishing to think that he was spared because of only one chess match. 4. Most people are unaware that Michael Jackson held a patent on the effects employed in conjunction with his moonwalk. In 1992, he, Michael L. Bush, and Dennis Tompkins created this shoe, a mechanism that allows the user of a shoe to lean forward beyond his center of gravity. The shoes contain a particularly constructed heel slot that may be engaged with the hitch component detachably by merely shifting the shoe wearer's foot forward. 5. The Pira tribe of northwestern Brazil has a language with 8 consonants and 3 vowels. Women employ 1 fewer consonant than males. They lack numerals, fixed color terms, perfect tense, profound memory, painting or drawing heritage, and words for all, each, every, most, or few. The tribe has no collective memory older than 1 or 2 generations, and there are no original creation stories. The tribe's universe is only what they perceive and only the present. 6. When questioned how things came to be this way, they just say, It has always been this way. 7. In 1986, U.S. airplanes destroyed the island of Ferdinandia, mistaking it for a Libyan submarine. When the island first appeared out of the water in 1831, it became a source of contention, with the United Kingdom, France, Sicily, and Spain all claiming the area. The British Navy and a Sicilian corvette arrived on the island to seize it. Many French noblemen advocated establishing a vacation resort on its beaches. However, before the matter was resolved, the island submerged again within a year. 8. Air Force One took off 1,440 times, but only landed 1,439 times. You may ask, how is that even possible? I mean, how can an airplane have one fewer landing than takeoffs? The official air traffic control call sign for a United States Air Force aircraft transporting the President of the United States is Air Force One. Any airplane carrying the President of the United States is referred to as Air Force One, and it ceases to be Air Force One if there is no President aboard. Back in 1974, President Nixon was traveling on Air Force One when President Ford was sworn in as the next president on the ground. Since Nixon was no longer president, Air Force One was retired, and its call sign was changed to SAM 27000. So technically, Air Force One did not land. As a result, there is one fewer landing than takeoffs. Isn't it fascinating? 9. The Tsar Bomba was the largest nuclear weapon ever detonated. It was 1,570 times more powerful than the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombs combined. The mushroom clouds towered 7 times higher than Mount Everest. Despite being placed on a Russian Arctic island, the flare was visible from Norway, Greenland, and Alaska. The earthquake was so powerful that it smashed windows as far away as Finland and Norway. The blast atmospheric pressure wave was reportedly recorded as far away as New Zealand. 10. The imported African clawed frog has been used in pregnancy tests all around the world. Doctors would send samples of the women's urine to laboratories that used frogs, where technicians would inject a little amount of the pee into the female frog's rear legs. The animals would be returned to their water tanks, and the technicians would check the water in the morning for frog eggs. If the female frog had ovulated, the urine source was pregnant, and the pregnancy hormone human chorionic gonadotropin, which is found in pregnant women's urine, had triggered frog ovulation. Most crucially, unlike the mice, the frogs could be used again and wouldn't need to pass away to complete the test. Thus, until 1970, the frog test served as the global norm. The frogs were shipped in their thousands all over the world. Although these frogs are no longer in use, their legacy endures. Although it's well known that humans and chimpanzees and other primates are closely related, did you also know that humans also have more than 50% of our genetic makeup in common with chickens, fruit flies, and bananas? Since the human genome was initially read in 2003, comparative genomics has demonstrated that many other living things, including our favorite yellow-peeled fruit and humans, share DNA. Almost all living things have a genome, which serves as an instruction manual and teaches them how to develop, create themselves, and function. DNA contains instructions that inform an organism on how to create protein molecules. We are what we are because of proteins. They include elements necessary for life, such as enzymes, antibodies, and hormones, and they influence physical traits such as eye and hair color. Researchers have discovered that all living creatures on our planet have certain similarities in their instruction manuals after sequencing the full genomes of several organisms, including yeast, mice, and frogs. Many plants, including bananas, and mammals share housekeeping genes that are essential for fundamental cellular processes, including DNA replication, cell cycle regulation, and cell division. Weird facts about the human body. How well do you know your unique body? It's definitely a lot stranger and creepier than you could ever think. Consider these bizarre facts about the human body and how all of these strange functions work to keep you breathing every day. Every day, your mouth generates around 1 liter of saliva. The digestive system kicks in after you consume food. The meal is transported to the stomach, where digestion begins. The lining of your stomach is changed once a week, which is rather unusual. It will digest itself if you don't. The heart is the only muscle that really never tires. Rigor mortis is one of the first stages of decomposition after a person dies. When rigor mortis sets in, the muscles constrict and the body tightens as a result. There are certain microscopic muscles under our hair that are also repressed throughout this procedure. When these muscles flex, the hairs stand on end, giving the appearance of goosebumps on the dead individual. Over 700 distinct types of bacteria live in your mouth at any given moment, which scientists refer to as the human oral microbiome. The composition of a newborn's oral microbiome at birth is mostly dictated by the mother's oral health, since any oral diseases she may have had, including gum disease, might cause bacteria to enter the mouth of the infant. The bulk of these bacteria, on the other hand, is beneficial to oral health. As per various medical specialists, it is very normal for newborns to weep or cry without tears for 1 to 3 months after birth, since their tear ducts continue to grow even after birth. Certain babies have clogged tear ducts, which means they may cry but their tears don't drain properly. A sticky yellow discharge caused by collected tears, on the other hand, can be cured with drops or ointment prescribed by your pediatrician. You usually see a dentist for checkups more frequently than you do a normal doctor. Teeth, unlike any other part of your body, are incapable of self-repair. Fluoride in toothpaste and drinking water can assist to restore enamel, but once a tooth has decayed, it has to be filled with a dental filling. When you sleep nude, your body burns more calories. According to studies, sleeping without clothing keeps the body cool and speeds up the metabolism. A tennis court's surface area is comparable to a human lungs. The lungs are loaded with hundreds of branching bronchi and small, grape-like alveoli to help oxygenate the blood more efficiently. These contain small capillaries that transport oxygen and carbon dioxide. Because of the huge surface area, this exchange is facilitated, ensuring that you are sufficiently oxygenated at all times. When you blush, your tummy blushes as well. When submerged in water, humans have a diving response that shuts down body systems to prevent drowning. Do you sometimes wonder why permanent tattoos are so difficult to remove? They aren't on your skin because they aren't there. They are instead found in your immune system. When lasers are utilized, the cells are killed, and macrophages are summoned to devour the liberated ink and heal the laser injury. As a result, after a few removal treatments, the tattoo begins to fade. Your mouth fills with a lot of saliva right before you vomit. 30 to 45 seconds before you vomit, this usually happens. This is done to protect your mouth from the acids in vomit. Have you ever experienced a stomach drop when riding a roller coaster? That's because roller coaster rides force your stomach and intestines to shift around a little. You don't have to be scared because it isn't risky. The liver has the ability to regenerate in around 2 weeks if 2/3 of it is taken out. The only component of your body that does not receive oxygen from your lungs is your cornea in the eye. Like insects, the cornea just takes free oxygen from the air. Because of this, contact lenses must be breathable. Have you ever had the sensation that something is creeping on your skin? You're absolutely correct. Viruses, pathogens, and over 1,000 types of bacteria are among the billions of things that live on your skin at any given time. On only 1 square inch of your skin, there are 50 million microorganisms. Don't go bathing with antibacterial soap just yet if you're grossed off. You and the majority of these tiny fellas share a symbiotic connection. Skin infections may often lead to serious illnesses. Thus, you need a balanced ecosystem of skin bacteria to be healthy. The production of earwax is required for ear health. Earwax is a crucial aspect of your ear's protection mechanism, despite the fact that many individuals find it nasty. It keeps germs, fungi, dirt, and even insects out of the sensitive inner ear. It also lubricates and cleans the ear canal. Your pinky finger may have a greater influence than you realize. Your hand's strength would be reduced by around half if you didn't have your pinky finger. Despite the fact that the brain is the pain center, it lacks pain receptors and is unable to detect pain. As a result, the risk of a headache cannot be ruled out. Furthermore, the brain is surrounded by a network of neurons, tissues, as well as blood vessels that are sensitive to pain and can result in a bad headache. The acid in your stomach is powerful enough to dissolve metal. It's a good thing your gut lining can handle it. So don't be astonished if razor blades melt in your gut. When you overeat, your hearing becomes less sharp. You may be doing yourself a disservice if you go to a concert or a show after a heavy dinner. If you need to maintain your hearing pitch perfect, try eating a smaller meal. A simple, somewhat severe sunburn causes considerable damage to the blood vessels. According to studies, it might take 4 to 15 months for them to get back to their usual state. Think about that the next time you're too lazy to put on sunscreen before going outside. The mature human body is made up of 206 bones, but it wasn't always like this. Around 300 bones were present when you were born. Many of your bones, including those in your head, arms, and legs, will fuse as you grow. A few people can hear the movement of their own eyes. Superior canal dehiscence syndrome refers to the capacity to hear the sound of their own eyeballs moving. When these folks move their eyeballs in their sockets, they can hear a scratching sandpaper sound. Aside from that, some people can hear every sound within their bodies. Would it astound you to learn that your skeleton can regenerate itself? Every 10 years, your skeleton does it. You are literally not the same person in your 50s that you were or will be in your 40s. It's incredible, but it's true. After all, isn't having a new skeleton intriguing? 8 weird facts that will blow your mind. Hello and welcome to the Weird Facts channel. In this video, we will be talking about 8 of the weirdest facts that you didn't know before. Are you ready? Let's dive deep into this video to find some weird facts. 1. Have you observed major brands removing the letters A, B, and O from their signature logos? The majority of others who saw the same thing assumed it may be a malfunction, but the real cause of the missing A, B, and O's is a shocking and important development. The Missing Type campaign has been launched by Engine Group, a PR firm, and the NHS Blood and Transplant Organization. It has launched this campaign in order to raise awareness of the advantages of blood donation and how crucial it is to save lives. Tesco, Mirror, McDonald's, Starbucks, and Hard Rock Cafe are just a few of the major brands and businesses that have decided to take part in the campaign to raise awareness of blood donation. 2. Dogs have a reputation for consuming almost anything they can. Theobromine, which dogs cannot adequately metabolize, is the main reason why chocolate is deadly to dogs. With respect to weight, a dog's ability to consume chocolate without developing symptoms varies significantly. 3. There is a fascinating truth that the majority of you might not be aware of. It was the winter of 1939. After Finland declined to share the land with the Soviets, the Soviet Union invaded Finland. It is referred to as the Winter Conflict. The Finnish army employed guerrilla tactics and lacked enough equipment. The Soviets, however, had the necessary weapons, including artillery, tanks, and aircraft. The Finnish soldiers sustained significant abnormalities, but then Rambo appeared. Rambo was a Finnish sharpshooter named Simo. Simo had a great eye for targets. He made the decision to take action when the Soviets invaded his nation and went out alone in the snow to hunt down Soviet soldiers with a sniper rifle and enough food for several days. He would bury himself in the snow and go after each of his foes one by one. He was renowned for having over 500 verified Soviet kills in fewer than 100 days. Everywhere you looked, Soviet soldiers lay dead. He earned the moniker White Death. As a result of their growing terror of him, the Soviets started using artillery to target Simo for death. Simo, however, fiercely battled back, and nothing was able to kill him. In 1940, on March 6, he was shot, but he survived. Instead, despite having a shattered jaw, he continued to live and share the story. He received various honors, including the Medal of Liberty for his bravery. At the age of 96, he passed away quietly at a nursing facility in 2002. 4. Have you ever wondered why tires are consistently black? Some people mistakenly believe that the reason why the tires are black is because rubber is naturally that color. However, raw rubber is actually extremely faintly colored and occasionally even translucent. This brings up the issue of why the tires are black. This is mostly due to the inclusion of carbon black, which, as its name implies, is black in color. The tires are made black by adding carbon black at a rate greater than 50%. Black has higher coverage qualities than any other hue, so adding pigment or a coloring agent to modify the color is entirely pointless. Before we explain why carbon black is required for tires, let's first take a brief introduction to rubber. Rubbers cannot be utilized as is, unlike metals or plastics. To be effective, the rubber must be combined with a variety of substances, including fillers, both reinforcing and non-reinforcing, cures, antioxidants, plasticizers, and others. Rubbers are practically worthless without these substances. Let's know a little about fillers and why they are introduced instead of focusing on the other chemicals. Simply said, fillers are solid particles with a wide variety of sizes, structures, surface areas, etc. Accordingly, fillers can be classified as reinforcing, semi-reinforcing, or non-reinforcing. Reinforcing fillers are the kinds of fillers that enhance the different physical characteristics of rubber goods, such as tensile strength, tear strength, and aging resistance, as well as lower the cost. Non-reinforcing fillers are those that are included in a product solely to lower the price. It is obvious that items with high performance like tires would have both reinforcing and non-reinforcing fillers, whereas low-performance products like pencil erasers or balloons will only contain non-reinforcing fillers. Unfortunately, carbon black is the only filler that can strengthen the rubber composite. So now you know why the tires are black. 5. According to research from the security company Symantec, religious websites are more likely to infect you with a computer virus than pornographic websites. The reason, according to the researchers, is that pornographic websites must turn a profit, so there is a financial incentive to maintain them virus-free to promote repeat business. 6. An American high school student first created the present American flag. The amazing tale begins as a history class assignment for Bob Heff's junior year that only earned him a B in 1958. Even though Alaska and Hawaii weren't states at the time, his design included 50 stars. Heft nonetheless presented the authorities with his design since he believed the two would soon become states. Het's perplexed instructor altered Hef's grade from a B to an A after President Dwight D. Eisenhower called to let him know his design was accepted. That's insane in my opinion. 7. Identical twins' offspring are genetically related but not cousins. Cousins with identical twin parents have a 25% DNA similarity rather than a 12.5%. Half-siblings share 25% of their DNA compared to full siblings who share 50%. Because of this, even if identical twin children are officially cousins, genetically speaking, they are half-siblings. 8. Brown coconut milk is superior to green coconut milk. Green coconuts are the same as brown hairy coconuts, which you may be more familiar with. Both are derived from coconut palm. The age of the coconut is what makes the difference. Green coconuts are young and unripe, but brown coconuts are fully developed. The milk from brown coconuts contains an oil that causes dehydration. Green coconuts' sweet water and very delicate meat are both nutritional pleasures. They help avoid dehydration and include minerals and chemicals that may provide antioxidant benefits, perhaps lowering your risk of metabolic syndrome and heart disease. Thank you for watching this one. I'll see you next time. I hope you enjoyed it, and if so, then give it a thumbs up and ring the notification bell button for our latest updates.